Hey guys, thanks for joining me here on Feature Junkie. My name's Ed, and today we're going to be talking about the new movie 65, directed by Scott Bex and Brian Woods, starring Adam Driver and Chloe Coleman. So going into this movie, I had so much anticipation for this. The trailer looked awesome, but there are a few things I definitely want to get into. But before I do, if you could leave a like down below, I'd greatly appreciate that. Now let's get into the plot courtesy of IMDb. After a catastrophic crash on an unknown planet, pilot Mills quickly discovers he's actually stranded on Earth 65 million years ago. Now with only one chance at a rescue, Mills and the only other survivor, Koa, must make their way across an unknown terrain riddled with dangerous prehistoric creatures in an epic fight to survive. So I'm just going to cut to the chase and say when I walked out of the theater, I had some mixed feelings about this film, but as I drove home, talked about it a little bit more, and thought about it a little bit more, yeah, I didn't really like this film at all. Again, I had so much high hopes for this film, but I think there was just a lot of missed opportunities, especially with the connection of Koa and Mills. So I'll just start with the acting. I'm a huge fan of Adam Driver. He's done a ton of movies, but in this particular film, he isn't given much dialogue to work with, and I feel like the writing really hindered his performance in this film. And then he has to connect with the little girl Koa, which she doesn't speak English in the film, and I feel like that's really a missed opportunity to make her speak a different language, because just like the character of Mills can't really connect and communicate with the little girl, us as the audience really can't connect with the girl as well. There's a lot of moments in the film where it's just like you're not really caring about that character at all, and for a film to have only 2 actors in it, that's a pretty big deal. I think cinematography wise, they did some really great things, some great shots. The forest looked amazing, but storyline wise, it just fell flat for me. There's a lot of slow moments in what is supposed to be a really jam-packed action film. It really just felt flat. And I get what they were going with storyline wise and trying to recreate the origins of Earth and tell this story with these prehistoric animals and dinosaurs, but there's a ton of plot holes in this film that really just don't make sense. And on the way driving home from the theater, I was talking with my wife trying to figure out like what do certain things mean, and maybe this is what they were trying to interpret, and in some instances that's a good sign, but in this particular film it really just means that the story just isn't cohesive. It doesn't really work. And while I do think they're 2 different films, when you have a classic film like Jurassic Park do dinosaurs in a really epic way, you then have a movie that has big shoes to fill, and I think 65 really just felt flat for me, so that's why I'm not going to give it a recommend. But I want to hear what you guys have to say about this film. If you liked it, if you didn't, whatever your thoughts are, just leave them in the comments down below. And if you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe, hit that notification icon down below so you know when I'm going live or dropping new content. And I want to thank you guys so much for joining me here today on Feature Junkie.